प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं दैवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Welcome everyone today for today morning's Bhagavatam class. So today we are reading from Canto 4, chapter 12 and verse number 37. Shanta Samadrisha Shuddhaha Sarvabhutanuranjanaha Yanti Anjasa Achyutapatam Achyutapriya Bandavaha Shanta Samadrisha Shuddha Sarvabhutanuranjanaha Yantyanjasa Achyutapatam Achyutapriya Bandavaha Santa Samadrisha Shuddha Sarvabhutanuranjanaha Yantyanjasa Achyutapatam Achyutapriya Bandavaha Shanta Samadrisha Shuddha Sarvabhutanuranjanaha Yantyanjasa Achyutapadam Achyuta Priya Bandavaha Santa Samadrisha Shuddha Sarvabhutanuranjanaha Yantyanjasa Achyutapatam Achyuta Priya Bandavaha. Mataji. Shanta Samadrisha Shuddha Sarvabhutanuranjanaha Yantyanjasa Achyutapatam Achyuta Priya Bandavaha Santa Samadrisha Shuddha Sarvabhutanuranjanaha Yantyanjasa Achyutapadam Achyuta Priya Bandavaha Santa Samadrisha Shuddha सर्वभूतानुरञ्जनः यान्त्यञ्जसच्छ्रुतपदम् अच्युतप्रियबान्धवः शान्तः peaceful samadrisha equipoised Shuddha cleansed or purified Sarva all Bhuta living entities Anuranjanaha pleasing Yanti go Anjasa easily Achyuta of the Lord Padam of the to the abode Achyuta Priya with devotees of the Lord Bandavaha friends. Translation: persons who are peaceful, equipoised, cleansed and purified and who know the art of pleasing all other living entities keep friendship only with devotees of the Lord. They alone can very easily achieve the perfection of going back home, back to Godhead. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The description of this verse fully indicates that only devotees are eligible to enter into the kingdom of Godhead. The first point stated is that devotees are peaceful, for they have no demands for their personal sense gratification. They are simply dedicated to the service of the Lord. Karmis cannot be peaceful because they have immense demands for sense gratification. As for jnanis, they cannot be restless. They cannot be peaceful because they are too busy trying to attain liberation or merge into the existence of the Supreme. Similarly, yogis are also restless to get mystic power. But a devotee is peaceful because he is fully surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thinks of himself as completely helpless. Just as a child feels complete peace in depending on the parent, so a devotee is completely peaceful, for he depends on the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A devotee is equipoised. He sees everyone on the same transcendental platform. A devotee knows that although a conditioned soul has a particular type of body according to his past fruitive activities, factually everyone is part of the Supreme Lord. A devotee sees all living entities with spiritual vision and does not discriminate on the platform of the bodily concept of life. Such qualities develop only in the association of devotees. Without the association of devotees, one cannot advance in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, we have established the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Factually, whoever lives in this society automatically develops Krishna consciousness. Devotees are dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead is only dear to devotees. On this platform, only can one make progress in Krishna consciousness. Persons in Krishna consciousness or devotees of the Lord can please everyone, as is evident in the Krishna consciousness movement. We invite everyone without discrimination. We request everyone to sit down and chant the Hare Krishna mantra and take as much as prasada as we can supply, and thus everyone is pleased with us. This is the qualification, Sarva Bhutanuranjanaha. As for purification, no one can become more pure than devotees. Anyone once utters the name of Vishnu immediately becomes purified, inside and outside. Yasmaret Pundarikaksham. Since a devotee constantly chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, no contamination of the material world can touch him. He is therefore actually purified. Muchihaya Suchihaya Yadi Krishna Bhaje. It is said that even a cobbler or person born in the family of a cobbler can be elevated to the position of a Brahmana, Suchi, if he takes to the Krishna consciousness. If any person who is purely Krishna conscious and who engages in chanting the Hare Krishna mantra is the purest in the whole universe. So let's recite Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Shri Vichakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Before beginning, I'd like to seek the blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas here so that there may be purity in my thought, clarity in my speech, and chastity in my deeds in the service of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, translation: persons who are peaceful, equipoised, cleansed, and purified, and who know the art of pleasing all other living entities, keep friendship only with devotees of the Lord. They alone can very easily achieve the perfection of going back home, back to Godhead. So currently, like Dhruva Maharaj is reaching the spiritual world. So here, this verse talks about the eligibility to attain the spiritual world. Mainly, it provides five qualities. The first quality is peaceful, and then equipoised, cleansed, or purified, and then the fourth quality is pleasing to all living entities, and then the fifth quality is friendship with devotees. So let's dig deeper into each of these qualities one after another, and Prabhupada hits how these qualities are not fully present in the karmis, jnanis, and then the yogis, but how devotees possess all these qualities, and only they are eligible to enter into the spiritual world. So the first quality is Santa, peaceful, and we can also see some examples in the scriptures where of devotees who has possessed these qualities in different cases, and how Dhruva Maharaj himself has possessed all these qualities in his duration in the material world. So the first quality is Santa. Santa means peaceful. So this material world is called Kunta, which is full of anxieties. As soon as we have anxieties, that is full of trouble and full of miseries, and people, there won't be any peace. But the spiritual world is called Vaikunta, without any anxieties. So by definition, if someone has to go enter into the spiritual world, they has to possess this quality of peacefulness. What to speak of spiritual world? Even to enter into the Brahmajyoti is full of peace. It is full of effulgence. There is no activity there as well. So even yogis should possess these qualities in their mature stage in order to reach the Brahmajyoti as well. So jnanis and yogis, they have to possess this attain this quality in order to enter into their goal of life, which is the Brahma Jyoti. So how do jnanis or yogis attain this quality? So the process of jnanis and yogis is they suppress the activities of the senses. So as long as you are engaged in any material activity, then you will be you will not be able to attain peace. So they completely suspend all the material activities and then simply practice meditation or cultivate knowledge. So in that way, they try to attain peace. And although they attain peace and they attain their destination, still they come back down because it is short-lived. Because how long we can remain peaceful? If we put someone in a room and close them and do nothing, what can we do? So after we can stay calm for some time, and then and then our mind will go crazy. Sometimes during book distribution, we used to go during traveling Sankirtan on the countryside, and then that time we used to see the dogs. So the domestic dogs, they lock the dogs inside the door, and that's what they roam inside the whole house throughout the whole day. And after some time they get bored, and they are very eagerly looking who will come and open the door so that they can go and bark outside. So we go and knock the door. As soon as someone opens the door, they have to hold on to the dog so that they can have a conversation with us. So that is how the dogs even become restless. What to speak of human beings who are more intelligent than dogs. So in order to remain peaceful, we cannot suspend the activity. So just like a dog, when the activity is suspended, it goes crazy. Similarly, when the yogis or jnanis, when they suspend their activities, after some time they go crazy and then they fall down from their position. And similarly, karmis, they also wanted to attain peace, but they have a lot of material desires to fulfill. And they try to fulfill their desires, and once they fulfill their desires, after some time they get the greed. So the greed comes into picture, and they wanted to achieve more. In that way, they also become restless, and they whatever achievement which they have already achieved, that becomes distasteful. For example, we can take a material example of buying a mobile phone, right? Nowadays, every year they are releasing a mobile phone, and then for this I can even take example as myself. I used to be like cars. I want to drive a car. So it is one of the crazy desire I had. So I thought, okay, once I got the car, yeah, I'll be happy. Then I earned money and then purchased a car and then started using it. By the time COVID hit, and then there is so now you don't have to go to office at all. There is no use for the car. Although I have got the car, I thought I'll be happy and peaceful. Now I can't use the car, and it is simply sitting in the car park without being used. And then I thought, okay, at least it is with me. I can still be happy just because I possess the car. I am the owner of a car, so I thought I'll be peaceful. And then after some times, we drive around locally just to for meeting friends for other purposes. And then again, the fuel price increased slowly because of COVID. They could not transport the fuel, so fuel price doubled. And then we have while driving, we are a little bit careless. We want to enjoy, so they give very high speed vehicles. So we a little bit careless, we break the traffic rules, and then we have to pay a hefty fine for the government. And then again we have to pay insurance, and then again on top of that we have to pay the tolls. So likewise, when we try as a karmi, when we try to fulfill our material desires, we may get a momentary happiness and momentary peace. And after achieving that peace, again our mind goes crazy because there are sequence of unpalatable things that are waiting after attaining that peace. But how devotees are peaceful? So devotees attain peace. The vision of the devotees, they try to please the Supreme Lord, and then by simply by trying to please the Supreme Lord, they remain satisfied. So how can someone satisfy Krishna? Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. They don't need to work very hard. They simply by offering little flower, fruit, or leaf, I'll be pleased. So devotees can achieve peace very easily right from the beginning onwards, because any new person can offer these things to Krishna, and simply by peace offering these like performing these activities, devotees attain peace very experience peace even right from the beginning onwards. So one of the things which I could remember is I started Krishna consciousness back in Chennai, which is in South India. And I used to be like so restless. I have so many different responsibilities to fulfill, and then so many problems to tackle in office, and so many problems that I need to deal with while working as a software engineer. And then I used to stay with my college friends, because we all got placed together, and we stayed together. And my friends used to see me as, how this fellow is living here like with such a crazy situation, because my mind is always troubled, completely disturbed. I can't even stay peaceful even for a moment. That's how much I used to be disturbed. In order to mitigate that disturbance, I used to go and sit in office to work for more than 24 hours. At least if I work for longer hours, I'll be peaceful. But it didn't solve the problem. And then the friends used to take me to, let's go and watch movies. And then they book tickets, and then we have to cross one road. While passing through the while going to the movie theaters, I used to look at the side of the road, and there used to be a very white, beautiful, attractive building like a Taj Mahal in the left side. This building looks like a Taj Mahal, like that I used to think from a distance, because and then I used to always wonder what building. One day I should go to that building, but while going to the theater. And by the way, the theater is located in a mall named Mayajal, so we can experience the height of Maya there. So we go to the theater, and then there, while watching the movie, I feel very happy, because when we watch a movie, we imagine ourselves to be a character in that movie, and then we also feel a little bit pleased for a short period of time, and then once we finish the movie and come back, then the anxiety starts again. Likewise, it was going on and on, and at one point of time, my friends casually asked, so just for a difference, why don't you go walk to the temple, which is on the way to the theater? And then because that was a weekend, I was still disturbed, and we walked to the temple. I entered into the temple there. So the altar was open, and I have never seen such a beautiful deities ever in my life. So the deities were made in marble. Generally in South India, if you go, deities are carved in black stones. And this is the first time I am entering into an ISKCON temple where the deities are so beautifully made in pure white marble deities. And I was so attracted, and I completely forget, like I was feeling so happy and and peaceful that I don't even want to leave the temple. Additionally, there were cultural events were going on. People from congregation devotees, they brought their kids, and they were doing some Bharatanatyam dance and all. It was so pleasing, and they were having some, playing some nice music there. So they were playing some nice music, and then I was listening to it, and then I sat down at the audience, and I was completely submerged and satisfied that I don't even want to leave. And then my friends, they told, hey, it's time, we have to leave. They have to pull me down. Come, they're giving free prasad. Let's go and take prasad. Like that, they were calling me. You go, I will come after. So you go and take prasad, and I'll come shortly. Like that, I sent them and sat down and started looking at the cultural event. So the process of Krishna consciousness is so pleasing and so attractive that we attain peaceful very instantly, right from the beginning onwards. So here we can take an example of Prahlad Maharaj. So we know Dhruva Maharaj, he was slightly insulted by his stepmother, and then he got agitated, and then he went and performed austerities. But by the time he was not a devotee. Once he performed austerities by the blessings of Narada Muni, when he got the audience of Lord Vishnu, he became completely peaceful, that forgetting all his material desires. In fact, he don't want to fulfill his material desires also. But in parallel, we can take the example of Prahlad Maharaj. In his case, what to speak of his stepmother, his own father, mother, and his entire kingdom was trying to put him into trouble. And trouble in the sense, not ordinary trouble, they were trying to invent different means to kill him. And throughout all those disturbances, like Prahlad Maharaj was not even shaken a little bit. For example, like Hiranyakashipu went and asked a boon. Yeah, I don't want to be killed by this weapon, that weapon, and I don't want to be killed in earth, water, fire, and air. So likewise, he has received so many like listed on so many different scenarios by which he can be killed, and he want immunity from all those kind of death. But if you see, like Prahlad Maharaj, he has performed tapasya for almost 40,000 years to achieve that boon. And here we can see Prahlad Maharaj, he hasn't even performed any austerity, and he hasn't performed any tapasya. All he did is he simply listened to the words of the spiritual master while lying down in the womb of his mother. And then in that way he became a devotee. And as a tender 5 years old child, when his father comes to know that he is a devotee and he is against the worship of Hiranyakashipu, so his father ordered him. So first he told, throw him from the mountain. So they threw him from the mountain. And Prahlad was, you can, the servants of Hiranyakashipu, they went and threw him to the mountain. And Prahlad Maharaj, he was not even disturbed and afraid that he will be dead, because he was fully self-realized, because he is completely dependent on the mercy of the Supreme Lord. And then while they threw him, and then he falls down, and Vishnu from the bottom, he catches him down, and then he emerges out without getting hurt. And then they submerge him in the ocean, tying him with huge rocks, so that he will die, suffocate and die inside the water. And then Vishnu comes again and then pulls him out of the water, and he was unharmed in that way also. And again, so they tried, okay, earth is not working, and then fire is also not working, water is also not working, let's kill him using fire. So Hiranyakashipu had a sister named Holika. She used to be a demoness with the power of fire. She can burn anything in anyone with her mystic power of using fire. So they brought, okay, you go and sit in the lap of your aunt. So like that, they asked Prahlad Maharaj to sit in the lap of Holika, and he went and sat. And as soon as he sat, she started increasing the heat around her. So she manifested fire, thinking that she can burn the little boy Prahlad. But Prahlad was like not even harmed a little bit. In fact, she herself was burnt by her own by the fire which was created by herself. So in that way, they couldn't kill Prahlad Maharaj also in that way. And then again, they put him into a room where there are so many venomous serpents can bite him, and then in that way he can be killed. But as soon as Prahlad Maharaj entered, the snakes become non-violent. They started, okay, what is the point of biting this little child like that? And they couldn't kill him in that way also. And then they also tried to like hit him with very sharp weapons. In that way also they couldn't be killed. So And throughout all these experiences, Prahlad Maharaj was like simply remaining peaceful, simply meditating on the Lord. He overcome all the distress actually. And then at the finally they asked his Hiranyakashipu thought, okay, he can't be killed in this way. Let me ask his mother to kill him. And they mix. He forced his wife to mix poison in the milk, and then asked his wife to feed feed her son in that way also. And then Prahlad Maharaj took the milk, and the poison couldn't harm him. So in so many different ways, Prahlad Maharaj was abused, but in all those scenarios, Prahlad Maharaj remained peaceful, completely taking shelter of the Supreme Lord. In that way, devotees also attain peace right from the beginning of practicing Krishna consciousness. And the next quality, Samadrisha, equipoised. So if you look, the jnanis, they also need to possess this quality in order to achieve their goal. So how do they see everyone as equal? Like the jnanis see that everyone is a soul. In that way, they see everyone as equal. Or the yogis see they also go to one level higher. They see the Paramatma also, super soul, and they see everyone is the super soul is present in everyone. So I am also the super soul. Like that, they come to that conclusion. So they also see everyone equally. And then how the karmis sees everyone as equally, they see that everyone is a product of material nature. They don't have the knowledge of the soul or super soul. They think everyone is a product of the material nature. When they are in the mode of goodness, they will be able to see equanimity. So that see that equality. But still, although they have possess these qualities, this quality does not last longer, and it does not help them to attain the highest destination, which is the supreme abode. However, the devotees see everyone equally. They see that everyone is engaged in the service of Krishna. Whether they are devotees or non-devotees, they see everyone is somehow or other engaged in Krishna consciousness. For example, like in this connection, there is a story of Yudhishthira Maharaj. Once Dronacharya asked Duryodhana and Yudhishthira Maharaj, Duryodhana, you go out and find. They were like Gurukul boys, and then at the time, and then Dronacharya asked Duryodhana, your task for today is you have to go out into the kingdom and find one person who is better than you. And then simultaneously he asked Yudhishthira Maharaj also, Yudhishthira, you have to go and find out one person who is inferior than you, like that. And then Duryodhana goes out and meets different people, and similarly Yudhishthira Maharaj also, they goes out and meets different people and different living beings within their kingdom. And then at the end of the day, they came back, and then Duryodhana reported, actually I couldn't find nobody who is better than me. Everyone is I could find fault in everyone, like that he was thinking. And then when Yudhishthira Maharaj sees, in contrast, Yudhishthira Maharaj, he came back and told, yeah, I can see everyone is greater than me. I can't see even one person who is inferior to me. So he was able to see, I can find everyone is possessing a quality which is not present in me. Like that, he was able to see a good quality which is present in every living entities. Then Dronacharya told, oh Duryodhana, you told you can't find anyone who is superior to you. Here is Yudhishthira, who is superior to you. And then he looked at Yudhishthira Maharaj and told, you can't find anybody who is inferior to you. Here is Duryodhana, who is inferior to you. Like that, in that way, like he told, like how the greatness of devotees we can see. They not only see everyone equal to them, they see everyone is much more better than them. So this is the quality which that is also present in devotees as well. And how this quality present in Dhruva Maharaj? Dhruva Maharaj, before before going to tapasya, do perform tapasya, he thought he wants to be a better than his own great grandfather. He thought his brother is in a superior position, he's in an inferior position. He was trying to like compete with his brother. And then later on we can recently see after he became a devotee, when his brother was when the same brother was murdered, he thought, thank God, luckily the burden has gone. He never thought like that, but rather he thought himself like he thought a worthy devotee in my family has been killed unjustly. He goes out and fights for him. So in that way he consider even his brother better than him as well. And then the next quality which is mentioned here is Shuddha, clean. So even the jnanis and yogis, they keep themselves clean. How do they keep themselves clean? They try to avoid cultivating material desires. So in that way they try to keep themselves clean. So they avoid all material activities, fruity activities. So in that way they try to keep themselves clean. And then the karmis. So how do they try to attain cleanliness? They attain cleanliness by performing religious duties. So like there are different duties like Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudras. And so karmis, they follow these duties, so that by performing these duties they eventually become pure. However, the purity of karmis and jnanis and the yogis cannot equate to the purity of the devotees. So how do they keep themselves pure? Can anyone remember any verse that says about the purity of devotees? So how devotees attain purity? Yeah. So one way is by chanting. So just by attentive chanting and hearing the holy name, we attain pure. Another verse that I could remember is Maline Mochanam Pumsam Jalasnanam Dine Dine Sakrit Gita Mritasmanam Samsara Malanasanam. So there are when it comes to cleanliness, there are two types of cleanliness, like external cleanliness and internal cleanliness. Externally, how do we keep ourselves clean? By taking bath in water every day. So maline mochanam pumsam, the mala is the impurity. So we get rid of the impurity by we get liberation from the impurity of the body by taking jalasnana, by taking bath every single day. However, what about the heart and mind? So, and the in one sense, our body itself is a contamination for the soul. So how to get rid of that contamination? By Sakrit Gita Amritasnanam Samsara Malanasanam. Even by reading Bhagavad Gita only once, eventually they will get rid of the bodily contamination of the soul as well. So in this verse there is a verse we can which I in Bhagavatam, Vikridatam Rajavado Biridam Cha Vishnu Shraddhanvito Nushunaya Tatavarnayetya Bhaktim Param Bhagavatim Pratilabhya Kamam Hridrogama Swapahinoti Achirena Dhiraha. Anyone who faithfully hears or describes the Lord's playful affairs with the young gopis of Vrindavana will attain the Lord's pure devotional service. Thus he will quickly become sober and conquer lust, the disease of the heart. So this is one of the Phalasthuti which is mentioned about the Rasalila pastime in the 10th canto of anyone who hears or describes the pastimes of Krishna with his devotees. Just by hearing these pastimes from the mouth of a pure devotee or a devotee who tries to recite, both of them will get purified. So another verse is Shinvatam Swakata Krishna Punyashravana Kirtana Hridayantasto Hya Badrani Vidunoti Sugarit Satam. So this is a verse that glorifies the potency of hearing the pastimes of the Transcendental Supreme Lord. So Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the Paramatma, is a soul in everyone's, super soul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of a devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous and when properly heard and chanted. So in this way, like devotees also possess this quality of cleanliness as well. In this connection, there is a story of Jagai and Madai. So in the beginning, before becoming devotees, people when they see Jagai and Madai, they immediately want to go and cleanse. They see, as soon as they see, even by looking at them, they think that they are contaminated. They have to jump into the Yamuna to take bath. Jump into the Ganges and take bath. In that way, they thought that they are so impure. And once they become pure, or like once they become devotees, even the same devotees who ran and jumped into the Ganges, now when they want to go to Ganges to take bath, and on the way if they saw Jagai and Madai, they thought, okay, now we have seen Jagai and Madai. Now we are already pure. There is no need for us to take even bath in the Ganges, because we are already pure by looking at them. So when we practice Krishna consciousness, the process of Krishna consciousness is transcendental right from the beginning onwards. So we don't need to the process itself is so transcendental that it purifies us, starts the purification process right from the beginning itself. And we have also seen that there are other purificatory activities, like a few days before Partha Prabhu was explaining the glories of wearing tilak also. So so how Dhruva Maharaj also keeping himself clean by taking by wearing marks of tilak in different parts of his body. So that's also cleanses our body. And he narrated the story of a person who just fell down at the time of death, who throughout his whole life he was sinful, and at the time of death his body fell on a drop of Gopi Chandan that was lying on the floor, and then Yamaraj could not even touch him, and then they were confused why he was not affected by, although he was sinful throughout his whole life. And then when Narada Muni comes out and says, yeah, this is the reason you could not touch him, because just by touching Gopi Chandan, he became cleansed of all the sinful reactions. Likewise, devotees also possess this quality in a much more higher level. And then Sarva Bhutanu Ranjana, pleasing to all living entities. This particular quality does not belong to the yogis and the jnanis, because they think dealing with other living entities is a source of attachment. They don't go and deal with other living beings in their spiritual practices. So they tend to seclude themselves and try to follow their own spiritual practices without caring about the other living entities. So the karmis and the yogis and jnanis, they don't possess this quality. However, the karmis, they do possess this quality to a certain extent, especially when they are in the platform of Nishkama Karma Yoga. So in the platform of goodness, they have to come as a matter of executing their religious duty. They have to give charity to the other living beings who are inferior to them. So karmis also, to a certain extent, they possess this quality. However, devotees, since they do not have any personal sense gratification, so they are very pleasing to the everyone. So in this case, we can take the example of Narada Muni. So we can see in Srimad Bhagavatam, Narada Muni, he goes to different people and converts them into devotees. And we can see even the hunter, Mrigari, we can see who is not a very cultured living being. But he was, when Narada Muni when he approached him, he was so convinced and he started following the instructions of Narada Muni. We can even see demons like Kamsa and Kamsa and Ravana, they treat Narada Muni very respectfully. In fact, Narada Muni goes to Ravana and says, see, these demigods, you are keeping them as steps to climb to your throne, and they are lying upside down. So So if you walk on, and you are walking on their back, so now if you walk on their back, they don't feel so much pain. Now what you should do, I think you should flip them around. So you should turn them around, and you should walk on their stomach. In that way, they will feel more painful. Like that, Narada Muni goes and advises Ravana and tricks him to like turn the demigods. The idea here is, at least as soon as the demigods look, and especially the demigod known as Shani, right? So when he looks and starts people are afraid of that particular graha or the demigod, because as soon as he looks at him, then all the inauspicious things will happen in our life. So in that way, like Narada Muni goes and advises, and Ravana thinks, yeah, that is a good advice. I want to cause more pain to them. And then he flips them around, and then starts walking on their stomach. And then day in and day out, he got cursed by the demigods, and eventually he lost his position. And even Kamsa also, he says, what you should do, you should arrange a match here, so that you should bring Krishna here to your kingdom, because Narada Muni first goes to Krishna in Vrindavan, and he says indirectly that eventually you have to perform these pastimes outside Vrindavan. And then he says that this is not working, Krishna is not coming out, let me go and induce Kamsa also. And he goes and talks to Kamsa, and then Kamsa sends out his messenger to bring Krishna to his own kingdom. And we can see even before that, when Narada Muni goes and advises Kamsa, there is a prophecy that you will be killed by the 8th child, but you don't know which is the 8th child. Maybe if you count from the last, then the first child become the 8th child. Or if you come from the last but the first, second from the last, then the second child become the 8th child. So in this way, if that is the case, then you should kill all the child. And then Kamsa thinks, yeah, that is right, then I should kill all the child. So Kamsa goes and kills all the children. So even the demons, they respect devotees. We can see even the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. So it is in the Sadgoswami Ashtakam, it is mentioned that Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro Premamritambo Nidhi Dira Dira Jana Priya Priya Karo Nirmatsaro Pujito Dira Adira Jana Priya Priya Karo. So the Goswamis of Vrindavan are very dear to even Dhiras, who are devotees, Adira, who are non-devotees also. So devotees, because they do not have any personal sense gratification, and they don't have this sense of exploitation. Nowadays, we get into the material world, we get exploited wherever and whenever we go in our day-to-day activities. But because everyone has their own personal agenda to fulfill, when we work, even I have to personally, even as a devotee, we have to work hard, and we have a manager who is not a devotee, and he demands us to work, complete the work in an unreasonable timeline. And then while dealing with the team, so I used to be a team leader, and I have a team of developers who works under me, and they give an unreasonable time. We have to complete this in next to 2 days. Ideally, it will take more than a month to complete that work. And then the deadline comes in 2 days, and then I have to go and talk to my team. So we have to complete this work by Monday. So what you have to do? You have to work on the weekends. So there is no holiday for you this week. So no matter where you are, whatever other responsibilities you have to drop all of them. You have to come, and then you have to complete the job within 2 days. And not just during the day, you have to extend your time during the night also, and you have to work overtime in these 2 days, and have to complete work within 2 days. Like that, I myself have to work, and I also have to work. Demand all the resources in my team to work as well. In that way, I have to earn the enmity while dealing with others in this material world. So, but however, devotees, when we are engaged in devotional service, even very, what do we do? How do we deal with them? We invite them, give them nice prasad, feed them with tasty prasad, and then talk to them very pleasingly, encourage them to chant Hare Krishna in that way. And if they have any distress, we provide, we pacify them, and give them a philosophy so that they won't be, they will get rid of the distress. In that way, devotees will become pleasing to every living entities, and not only to human beings, even devotees like very pleasing to the animals also. We can see in the case of Mrigari, before he was killing the animals, once he became the devotee, he was even like afraid of hurting even an ant. So in that way, Sarva Bhutana Ranjana, devotees possess this quality. And Dhruva Maharaja, although he killed the family members of the Yakshas, of family members of Kuvera, he also, at the end of the day, he pleased to Kuvera simply by desiring to be a devotee of the Supreme Lord, and not asking for any material benediction from Kuvera. So, and the next quality which is mentioned here is Achyuta Priya Bandhavaha. The karmis, jnanis, yogis, so they don't possess this particular quality, and this quality is the one king of all the other four qualities. If a person possesses all other four qualities without possessing this quality, he is still not eligible to go back to the spiritual world. So until unless one comes to this, cultivates this quality, he remains unqualified, not eligible to enter into the spiritual world. Spiritual world means full of devotees only. And if you don't have a good friendly relationship with devotees, then there is no guarantee that the other four qualities cannot guarantee us to take us back home, back to Godhead. So in this connection, we can see like how to make friendship with devotees. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Matchitta mat gata prana bodhayanta parasparam katayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. So my devotees, they talk to each other like about my transcendental glories, pastimes. In that way, they delight in each other. So there is another way which we can make friendship with devotees. How do we do that? Any verse in Nectar of Instruction? Dadati, yeah. So dadati pratigrinati, bhunkte bhojete chaiva. So sadvidim, what is the other thing, Prabhu? So yeah. So there are 6 things which we Guhyamakyati prachati, datati pratigrinati, Guhyamakyati prachati, bhunkte bhojete chaiva, sadvidim priti lakshanam. So this is a lakshana, means like a character, the quality of a devotee. So the quality to associate with among devotees is feeding them with prasad and accepting prasadam from them. Bhunkte bhojete chaiva. And giving gifts to them in charity, and also accepting gifts from them in charity, and then also incurring confidential subject matter. And what is the confidential subject matter? That confidential subject matter is nothing but Krishna consciousness. So how to practice Krishna consciousness? What are the things that I have to do to worship the Supreme Lord? What I can't do? So these are the basic fundamental principles we learn from the devotees. So before becoming a devotee, we used to do all kinds of nonsense activities. We travel to all different places, and then once we become devotees, we think twice. In the early stages, we think twice: should I go or should I not go? Is it right or it is not right? We get confused, and then we check with devotees, and then they say, "Oh, this should be done. This shouldn't be done." In that way, like we develop a friendship with devotees and ask from them, take guidance from them. And then we build a loving relationship with them. In fact, there is a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam says, Vipra dvishadguna yuta daravinda nabha padaravinda vimuka swapacham varishtam manye tadarpita mano vachane hitartha pranam punati sakulam natuburi manaha. Just by becoming a devotee, like just by engaging in devotional service, one person will develop all the qualities of the demigods. But if one does not become a devotee of the Supreme Lord, if one does not associate with the devotee, one is not guaranteed to develop all the other all the other subsidiary secondary qualities which are mentioned in this verse. So to conclude, so all these qualities, in order to enter into the spiritual world, we need to possess these transcendental qualities, and the qualities are peacefulness. So the qualities are peacefulness, equipoid, pure, and pleasing to other living entities, and friendship with devotees. So this is the core points, qualities. These are the qualifications that we need to enter into the spiritual world. And devotees possess these all the four qualities, whereas the karmis, jnanis, and the yogis, they possess only up to a certain extent. But although they possess few of these qualities, it does not guarantee them to guarantee them the access to the spiritual world. But and among all the five qualities, friendship with the devotees is the topmost. That helps them. The first thing that one gives the guarantee so that they can develop all other qualities eventually, and then they can get the eligibility to go back home and enter into the spiritual world. Thank you. I think it's already over time. If there are any comments, I think can close. Yes, Mandash. Location of the what, Mandash? Yeah, yeah. So I can answer. I can give a partial answer, because the tilak is nothing. We apply tilak in 12 parts of the body. So hmm? That one is not exactly a tilak. Whatever is remaining in the after making the tilak, we apply it so that we don't drop it in the floor. And there is a verse that specifies how it should be applied also. Do you know the verse, Prabhu? So we apply it in the forehead, and then the navel, then the chest, and then the throat, and then the side of the navel, and then we have applied in the arms and shoulders, left arm and shoulders, and then we apply tilak here as well, in the left, and then the upper back and the lower back as well. So why those parts? Yes, Mataji. Yeah. Yeah. I think time is up. Yes, yeah. Thank you, Mataji. The Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.